We have 10 new games to go over and recent release date updates. Before we get into that, here's a quick word from our sponsor. Choppa Rescue Rivals is bringing vibrant, high-octane helicopter action to the Nintendo Switch, and it looks like a blast for anyone craving arcade-style thrills. This globe-trotting adventure blends a striking Saturday morning anime aesthetic with fiercely competitive rescue missions. Players pilot customizable choppers through intensely treacherous environments, ranging from hazardous snowy mountain peaks to blazing unstable oil tankers. Each pilot brings in their own unique rescue tool and story location, shaping distinct gameplay experiences and demanding new strategies for each rescue mission. It is a chaotic, colorful, and refreshing addition to the hybrid console's library that deserves a spot on your storage. Check out the game in the description below.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Crismon Desert Features overview video.
Pearl Abyss is taking its ambitious open-world action-adventure, Crismon Desert, and squeezing it onto the Switch 2 with a targeted launch window in the first half of 2027, trying to cram a massive fantasy landscape filled with high-fidelity dragon fights. Complex physics and fluid swordplay onto smaller chipsets sounds like a recipe for a molten battery. But the developers report that basic gameplay is already up and running smoothly. Getting a massive game to perform decently on handheld tech is never as simple as clicking an export button and hoping for the best, which explains why the team is taking extra time to dial in optimization without shredding the visual quality or gutting features. You play as Cliff, a mercenary navigating a brutal continent packed with mercenaries, colossal monsters, and chaotic weather events, making performance stability absolutely crucial for landing parries and dodging massive boss swings. Pushing the release into next year gives the studio enough runway to refine frame rates and polish up texture rendering so combat feels as snappy on the couch as it does at a home desk setup. Fans eager to haul this sprawling medieval sandbox around in a backpack will have to exercise a bit more patience, while engineers tune up the engine mechanics. Taking time to bake a gigantic RPG properly usually pays off, especially when lagging out mid-fight against a mythical beast generally ends with your hero getting flattened into a fine heroic paste. Space combat fans have a reason to wipe the smudges off their screens because EVERSPACE 2 Galactic Edition just dropped, bundling every single expansion into one massive spacefaring package. You're getting over 50 hours of high-octane dogfighting across 10 distinct star systems packed with more than 100 handcrafted locations. Your sleep schedule is about to suffer severely. What makes this bundle particularly spicy is the inclusion of the major story expansions alongside all the bonus cosmetic gear, saving you from having to hunt down separate extra content, steering a fully customized starfighter through asteroid fields while dodging plasma fire feels remarkably tight, even with the frame rate capped at a steady 30 frames per second to keep hardware running smooth. The developers at Rockfish Games somehow squeezed a gorgeous voice-acted space opera into hardware-friendly form without gutting the visual spectacle or stripping out key features. Between stealing precious loot from hostile factions, managing deep gear loadouts, and calling down apocalyptic weapon abilities, there's rarely a dull moment in the cockpit. The development team actually secured a massive government grant to build their next space adventure, so consider this complete edition the ultimate victory lap for an already fantastic arcade shooter. Anyone who ever dreamed of playing Han Solo without paying exorbitant galactic taxes needs to clear off some digital storage space immediately to jump right in today.
Xenos incoming!
Surviving a swarm of acid-blooded extraterrestrials is hard enough, but doing it with 3 trigger-happy friends makes the panic infinitely more hilarious in Aliens Fireteam Elite 2. This cooperative third-person shooter expands squad sizes from 3 players up to 4. There are now 4 times as many chaotic explosions and mistaken friendly fire incidents happening on screen at any given second. You step back into the heavy boots of a colonial marine, dropped into dark claustrophobic corridors on a hostile mining planet where staying still usually guarantees a painful death. Xenomorphs are way smarter and far more relentless this time around, crawling along ceilings and bursting out of vents to ruin your afternoon. To counter the endless wave of sharp claws, you get access to elemental ammunition that lets you burn, freeze, or shock massive swarms before they breach your defensive perimeter. The absolute star of the show is the brand new Specialist class, which lets you mix and match abilities from every single role to build a custom warrior perfectly fitted to your preferred playstyle. Multiple dedicated Horde mode maps will test your squad's communication to its absolute breaking point as endless waves pour out of the shadows. Between wielding heavy flamethrowers, slapping down automated turrets, and panic-swinging stun batons during desperate close quarters encounters. This sequel turns alien hunting into a delightfully sweaty team effort. Grab a squad, lock your weapons, and prepare to turn those space bugs into glowing green goo. Action RPGs usually ask you to swing giant swords or hurl massive fireballs, but Fading Echo takes a wildly different approach by handing you a giant bucket of fluid physics instead. You step into the shoes of a young hero named One, venturing across a surreal desert punk landscape that is currently drowning under a strange reality warping corruption. What makes this combat system absurdly fun is how seamlessly you transform between liquid and human forms mid-battle. 1 second you're sprinting through a dusty alley, and the next you literally dissolve into a tiny droplet to slip under doors or shoot straight up in a burst of high-pressure vapor. Combat is all about triggering chaotic elemental chain reactions by splashing water onto toxic waste, hot lava, or corrupt slime to electrify, petrify, or detonate entire groups of enemies at once. You're constantly juggling raw offense with clever positioning, using your versatile backpack of liquid tricks to outmaneuver aggressive monsters. Navigating the world also gets pretty trippy because you're constantly shifting back and forth between the main floating islands and a distorted shadow dimension with different rules of gravity. Gathering rare energy sources helps upgrade your abilities, allowing you to tailor your fluid combat style to whatever weird situation comes your way. Blending smooth movement with explosive chemistry set battles gives this adventure a refreshing spark, proving that playing with your water bill can actually save the entire world. Anime action enthusiasts can mark December 10th on their calendars because Attack on Titan 3 is dropping to adapt the entire iconic storyline from its dark beginnings all the way to the explosive final conclusion. Omega Force is compiling the whole saga into one massive package, rebuilding fan-favorite scenes while introducing brand new story scenarios and bringing the terrifying 9 Titans into playable battles for the very first time. Zipping through district skylines with upgraded omnidirectional mobility gear feels faster and more fluid than ever, letting you slash through Titan-nabe flesh with surgical precision before getting swatted like a pesky mosquito. The giants themselves are far less predictable this time around, constantly changing up their movement patterns and forcing squad leaders to react on the fly during frantic aerial skirmishes. A brand new special exterior mission mode puts you in charge of your own scout squad, giving you direct control over dangerous expeditions beyond the protective stone walls, where every tactical retreat or push determines who survives. Players looking for a smoother entry point can toggle on simplified controls to pull off acrobatic maneuvers like an elite scout without destroying their thumbs on complex button combos. Pre-ordering unlocks sweet customization items like hoodies and earrings, while special editions include physical steelbooks or digital early access to start slaying monsters 3 days ahead of schedule. Assembling your dream team, swinging through the clouds, and taking down towering monsters promises the ultimate high-stakes anime playground to wrap up the year. Harvest Moon Echoes of Teradea is stepping back from its original September launch and sliding into October 15th instead. Honestly, 3 extra weeks of waiting for a cozy farming simulator feels like a minor penalty when you look at how packed autumn already is with major releases. Natsumi wants a bit more time in the oven to polish up what is shaping up to be a surprisingly ambitious sandbox adventure. You're not just planting turnips in a tiny square field anymore. This entry drops you into a sprawling open world plagued by weird fog, nocturnal monster attacks, and sudden natural disasters. Doc Jr. is back with his bizarre gadgetry, joining the Harvest Goddess to help you figure out why the land is acting so chaotic. The coolest twist is how your livestock double as actual traversal tools. Riding a giant animal to smash through fallen boulders or scale cliffs changes how you explore hidden islands and gemstone caves. Camping out under the stars around a campfire becomes essential because the map is far too huge to sprint back home before your stamina meter hits rock bottom. Dating 10 eligible townsfolk while solving environmental mini-puzzles adds a nice chunk of variety to the daily grind. Pushing the release date back into spookier autumn territory might actually fit the eerie mystery vibe a lot better anyway. Grab your hoe, sharpen your watering can, and prepare your schedule for mid-October.
An ancient evil has arisen from the
Middle-earth fans looking to hack through orcs without rewatching 9 hours of extended edition movies just got a massive treat, because the Lord of the Rings War in the North Legacy edition has returned. Asper brought back this dark, violent 2011 action RPG, reminding everyone that while Frodo was walking across the world to throw jewelry into a volcano, another hero crew was fighting a brutal war up north. You get to play through an original campaign targeting Sauron's terrifying Lieutenant Agandaur before he flattens the Northern Realms. The classic character dynamic lets you seamlessly hot swap between a ranger with a bow, an elven mage, and a heavy-hitting dwarf who treats orc helmets like delicate pottery. Playing with up to 2 friends in split screen or online co-op elevates the entire experience, especially when calling down Belaram, a giant eagle that lands like an artillery strike to tear giant trolls apart. Deep skill trees and tons of shiny loot keep the combat endlessly satisfying as you visit iconic places like Mirkwood and Rivendell, bumping into legends like Gandalf and Aragorn along the way. Remastering this forgotten gem for $20 offers a fantastic hit of late 2000s nostalgia, proving that co-op hack and slash games hit differently when blood actually sprays across the snow. Grab 2 buddies, pick your warrior, and prepare to show Sauron why invading the Northern Territory was a terrible career choice. Fast-paced shooter fans who missed the golden era of early 2000s action games need to pay attention, because SPRAWL 0 is bringing back pure Y2K cyberpunk chaos. You step into the cybernetic boots of a super soldier named Five, deployed into a collapsing metropolis to hunt down a radical cult leader before the entire city tears itself apart. Instead of sitting behind cover like a boring military sim, this game encourages absolute aggression powered by mind-bending gravity mechanics, catching enemy bullets out of thin air with a gravity shield and hurling them straight back into a sniper's face is easily one of the most satisfying tricks you will perform all year. Slow-mo bullet time lets you line up ridiculous trick shots, while the rushdown ability lets you plow through enemy squads like an unstoppable human wrecking ball. The smart enemy artificial intelligence actually communicates and coordinates flanks, forcing you to constantly adapt using over 40 different weapons across multi-layered vertical map layouts with multiple routes. Nostalgia runs heavy through the industrial soundtrack and retro visual aesthetic, capturing that legendary era when shooters focused on raw movement and player freedom rather than endless battle passes. Masterful sound design makes every shotgun blast echo with satisfying weight, making firefights feel incredibly visceral. Anyone searching for an adrenaline-fueled throwback that demands skill, speed, and quick reflexes will find plenty to love in this neon-soaked futuristic playground.
It's your choice. It's your duty. Your legacy.
Balancing a bloody dungeon-crawling addiction with running a cozy retail shop is a tough gig, but Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault, is ready to lock in its full version 1.0 launch on September 2nd. You jump back into the busy routine of Will, an adventurer who spends his nights diving into shifting multi-dimensional dungeons for rare loot and his days haggling over prices with eccentric town locals. Organizing your iconic backpack feels like playing high-stakes spatial inventory Tetris, because how you arrange discovered relics unlocks special bonus effects that make future runs far more profitable. The official full release wraps up the main storyline while introducing devastating new gear and an explosive bomb path ability that causes enemies to detonate into collateral damage when hit enough times. Back home in Tresna, your shop reaches its final upgrade level, giving you additional customer slots, fresh decor options, and plenty of extra floor space to rake in massive profits. High-level players seeking a real test can jump straight into the infinite endless vault for endless gauntlets of gold-filled danger, or turn on hardcore mode where a single death wipes out your progress. Haggling with customers while sweeping up shop messes hits a delightfully satisfying groove, seamlessly blending chaotic combat with pure business simulation. Sharpen your broom, polish your swords, and get ready to run the most dangerous store in town this autumn.
Welcome to my island. Island vlog. It's me, Solara. Here on
Cozy life simulation fans looking to escape reality can pack their virtual bags for Starsand Island, which is leaving early access and launching its full 1.0 version on August 18th. Inspired by the peaceful Chinese countryside and traditional Eastern philosophy, this charming title lets you abandon stressful city routines to farm crops, craft gear, fish along pristine beaches, and explore ancient ruins. 4-player online co-op allows you and 3 friends to build an idyllic coastal getaway together while earning exclusive currency for special multiplayer shop rewards. Socializing gets a massive upgrade for the full release, featuring 19 unique villagers with expanded relationship storylines alongside 14 romanceable characters who are ready to drag you on kite-flying dates, sunny picnics, and nostalgic arcade visits. Seasonal changes dynamically transform the environment throughout the year, kicking off shortly after launch with the Autumn Pumpkin Carnival, where you can catch glowing jellyfish, grow giant event pumpkins, and feed your farm animals special treats so they produce literal candy. Customization options run super deep across house decorating, character outfits, and cooking recipes, giving you complete freedom to dictate your daily pace. Physical disc and cartridge collector options arrive later in November for physical media purists, but digital builders can jump into this colorful paradise right away. Trading spreadsheet stress for raising livestock and flying kites with your favorite neighbor might just be the most therapeutic gaming decision you make all summer.
Okay everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you liked that video, please leave a like and subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to get notified when we release new content. We hope to see you in the next video.